Hello, beautiful people. I was thinking about how people sometimes, when they get depressed, they start to think, or when they get divorced, or when they get a breakup, something that startles you. You start to wonder the meaning of life, the purpose of life, and what that means specifically for you as an individual. And I think people don't research that in a way that can then be useful. Something a couple of very highly intellectual thinkers that I follow did talk about this quite extensively, so I might talk about it as well in a couple of my videos. And I think people need to understand that our hemispheres in our brain, two hemispheres, they work quite a bit differently, although they can alternate in some people. So I think the right hemisphere is an exploratory hemisphere for us. It is the conservative side of us, right? The right side in most people anyway. And it's where your brain tells you or orients you in the world that you understand, that you know. So that's the explored territory, right? That's the conservative view, according to Jordan Peterson. And then the left hemisphere, for the low resolution point of view, is an unexplored territory. That's where imagination takes place. That's where creativity originates. That's where hypotheses originates. And that side of us helps us to orient towards things that we do not understand. So we have a nervous level instinct built into us in order for our brain to make sense of things that we do not understand. This is where the sense of meaning comes in. Sense of meaning is an actual instinct in humans. It's called an orienting reflex. It was discovered by 3 Russian neuropsychologists, I believe, in the last half of the 20th century. It was one of the most brilliant discoveries. So I think in a simplistic terms, the way orienting reflex works at the very base level cognitive abilities is that if you get startled, for example, one of the examples is that it could move you out of the way of a striking snake, right? It's very quick at the very base level. Orienting reflex, it is very quick and very dirty. But then if you get very startled by something that hurt you, depending on how startled you were, you might spend a year thinking about it, right? And as you unfold across time and as you think about things across that year, you are now experiencing the extended manifestation of the orienting reflex. So, in order for you to make meaning out of your life, by the way, your brain thinks this way. This is how your brain is oriented to live in this world. And the most real thing to your brain is the meaning of something, right? And in order to optimally do that, you have to have one foot in order, which is the explored territory part of the explored view of your brain, and one foot in chaos, where the unknowns come into our life, which they happen all the time. So if you only identify with the explored territory, what will then happen is what happens to all of us. Things change in our life without our control, outside of our control, which means that you're going to experience a lot of pain because you're not allowing your imagination side, the creative side, the chaotic side of your brain to create meaning out of the new experiences that you inevitably run into in life. So I think as I'm speaking to you guys, I am trying to also formulate this thought, which is a lot deeper than you would think, right? I don't know if this went over your head. I need to watch this again to see if it went over mine. So the meaning of something, the meaning of chaos, the meaning of order, and creating a balance in life where you have the conservative side and the non-conservative side, you have a foot in order, foot in chaos. I think the balance between the two really leads to a healthier lifestyle, generally speaking. Let me know your thoughts.